Key 11, the first palindromic card in the deck, is aptly called the Wheel of Fortune. The card harkens back to Ezekiel's vision on the Chebar River, where he sees three wheels within wheels surrounded by the mysterious cherubim, whose likeness of that of a man, that of an eagle, a bull, and a lion. Additionally, symbolism of the ascending jackal god Anubis, opposed to the descending serpent god Apep. Above them both sits the white sphinx from the Merkaba card. The card indicates one's spin or life roll that accompanies one into their next life, with the three wheels equating to the birth chart of the individual. The outer wheel of signs, the middle wheel of planets, and the inner wheel of houses, all in the astrological chart. The chart maps the cosmos at the moment of birth. Key 22, the World. The World card follows along with the same imagery as the wheel, with the entire scene framed once again by the cherubim, this time surrounding a wreath containing a suspended angelic figure, holding two magician's wands and wearing purple sashes. The card is a celebration for successfully navigating the earthly realm. It carries with it the rewards that go along with worldly success. Key 33, the first of the two Jesus Christ cards, also reflecting one of the two fish of Pisces. Both Jesus Christ cards are palindromes. This card is unique in that during the dance of life, this card remains stationary as the others dance around it. It is found at the center of a naturally formed cross when laying the cards out in their natural order of 7 rows each. Only 2 other cards are fixed like this, and each of those also occupies a position on the same cross. The dance of life is a jig of 45 steps, a spin, and then 45 more. Key 44. The number 4 is inherently a bad number. 2 4s is as bad can get. The 9 of Swords is probably the worst card in the deck. It means loss of loved one, grief, sadness, and nightmares. Key 55. During the dance of life, there are 3 cards that don't move, and there are 4 cards that do a 2-step back and forth with each other, only occupying one of 2 spaces. This is one of those cards that 2 steps with the wish card, the 9 of Cups. The 7 means hard work with little to show for it. Key 66. This card follows happiness, the 10 of Cups, in the dance of life. But the 5 of Wands suffers from internal conflicts, as described by the men sparring with each other. The card is self-deprecating. Key 77. The final master palindrome is Key 77, the second Jesus Christ card, and the second of the 2 fish of Pisces. The card is the spiritual bridge to everlasting life. All palindromic pairs, when added together, produce another palindrome. For instance, the first palindromic pair is 12 and 21, and when the 2 are added together, they produce 33, a master palindrome. Sometimes palindromic pairs won't make a palindrome immediately, but in a few steps it will eventually resolve it into another palindrome. For example, Key 67 and 76, when added together, form 143, which isn't a palindrome, but by adding 143 and 341, you get a palindrome 444. That one only took an additional step to arrive at. Some might take 4 or 5 steps. The palindromic pairs. 1 and 10, the Fool and the Hermit. The Fool stands on the precipice of a mountain, where he carelessly steps without looking due to his haughty, immature nature. The Fool can expect accidents on his journey, being the epitome of the spirit becoming flesh and the naivety of the youth. The hermit, on the other hand, is also on the precipice of a mountaintop, only this figure is old and Moses-like, carrying a staff and a lantern lit by the Holy Spirit in the form of the six-pointed star. The Yod, the hermit, is one of the letters in the name of God, and this card indicates wise counsel. 2 and 20. The magician and the sun. The magician disseminates what's from above from what is below. He divides the two and is the representative of the divine will. He can create and make manifest. The sun is the higher octave of the divine will. It is the divine spirit, reborn again in the form of a youthful child. 3 and 30. High Priestess and the Eight of Cups. The Eclipse card. The High Priestess is the triple goddess, whose dominion is the moon, and subsequently the tarot, or Torah, which holds all the knowledge in the universe. The Eight of Cups is an elderly man walking away from 8 upright cups. The decision he is making to abandon his cups is made under the eclipsed moon, eclipsed knowledge. It is an error because without the moon, the whole story isn't clear. 4 and 40. The Empress and the Five of Swords. The Empress is crowned with a 12-starred crown representing the 12 signs of the zodiac. She holds a scepter with an orb giving her dominion over the earth. She is another facet of the triple goddess. The 5, aristocratic youth, whose position of privilege was earned through past lives and is living off of karmic accumulation. The dejected foes walking away indicate the unfair advantage the youth possesses. 5 and 50. The Emperor and the Two of Wands. This card is similar to the pair 47 and 74. The Emperor is Aries, and the Two of Pentacles is an Aquarian-type figure representing the water bearer in the balance of two extremes. The two are opposites, but they are compatible. 6 and 60. The Hierophant and the Queen of Pentacles. Here we have the card representing the sky god Yahweh. The He, the H, is 2 of the 4 letters that make up the Tetragrammaton, the name of God. The Hierophant, along with the 6 of Cups, are the 2 perfect cards in the deck. The Hierophant is God's representative on earth. He holds the keys to heaven and hell, the keys of Solomon that grants the possessor with control over demons. The Queen of Earth is the Queen of Pentacles, the third face of the triple goddess, the one that regards fertility and fecundity. 7 and 70, the Lovers card and the Nine of Wands. The Lovers is presided over by the angel Raphael, or the Greek god Eros, known to Romans as Cupid. It means the union of opposites, which caused the two to be exiled from the Garden of God. The Nine of Wands represents that exile. The refugee is protective over his wands, having been thrown out of the Garden of Eden. 12 and 21. Justice and Judgment. Justice is the lower octave of judgment, where justice is the card referring to physical mundane law and order, and judgment refers to the final judgment and the sentencing of the soul to a life eternal or eternal damnation. 13 and 31, the Hanged Man and the Nine of Cups. The Wish card. The Hanged Man depicts a figure hanging upside down. His arms are folded in the form of a figure 8, and his legs are crossed, making the figure 4. The number he is illustrating is 84, the number of years it takes the planet Uranus to orbit the sun. The man represents Odin, the primary god of Norse mythology. The Hanged Man is Odin hanging from the Yggdrasil tree. Yggdrasil means Odin's gallows. because Odin wanted to see firsthand what the underworld was all about, and that required his death. So his wish is fulfilled in the 13th key. The Nine of Cups is the wish fulfillment card, and its juxtaposition against the Hangman indicates that in order for your wish to come true, you have to leave your comfort zone and take the risk of assessing things on the other side. 14 and 41. The Death card and Six of Swords. Death means physical death, and like the Hangman, it kicks off a 5-card journey through the underworld, with the promise of the returning sun rising in the distance between the Benben pillars. The 5-pointed flower is inverted, and the number 5 always relates to man, showing that this is physical death. The Six of Pentacles can be thought of as the ferryman, Charon, who ferries the souls of the dead across the river Styx into Hades. 15 and 51. Temperance and the Three of Pentacles. The angel Gabriel stands with one foot on the earth and the other on the sea while mixing the contents of 2 cups together in a synthesis that, upon refinement, will provide the way to that promised crown in the distance. The angel was brought under control by Solomon and used to help build the Temple of Solomon, which the Three of Pentacles indicate. 16 and 61. The Devil and the King of Pentacles. Both cards reflect the astrological sign of Capricorn, the goatfish, who has dominion over the wealth of the earth. Christianity teaches that our rewards are better sought in eternal heaven instead of the temporary earthly plane. The devil reflects material fulfillment and can indicate material bondage as well. The King of Pentacles is card 61. According to the Gospel of Matthew, there are 61 descendants between Adam and Jesus. This differs now from the Gospel of Luke, which lists 77 descendants. Adding 16 to 61 gives us another palindrome, 77, and that's reflective of Luke's genealogy. The funny thing is that the 77th key is the Knight of Cups, the Pisces Jesus Christ card. 17 and 71. The Tower and the Ten of Wands. The Tower of Babel was built to better understand the heavens, but God confused the languages so that men couldn't cooperate with each other so easily. This story reflects the sudden realization that shakes the foundations of a tower that's been previously built on faulty knowledge. The 10 is also showing this project abandonment and the relocation that follows. 23 and 32. The Ace of Cups and the Ten of Cups. The ace is the fount of all love and life and depicts the baptism of Jesus by John the Baptist. The Spirit of God descends like a dove, and 25 yod-shaped water droplets fall from a cup overflowing with 5 streams. Union is sanctioned and is the key to the card. It's a blessing, a gift from God, and the yods connect this card to key 25, the birth card. The outcome of this newly anointed baptism is seen in the Ten of Cups, which reflects the promise which God made after the flood, never to flood the world again, allowing mankind and his families to prosper. 24. The 2 depict the union of opposites under the solar symbol of the lion and eagle, hovering over a staff with the serpent entwined. This indicates a marriage and being blessed by divine sanction. The 7 depict a man sneaking out of an enemy's camp with the enemy's swords in hand. It indicates the clever disarmament of an enemy, and the metaphor might be seen as the disarming of a foe and the stealing of one's heart. The 2 of Cups is one of the 4 cards that does the 2-step during the dance of life, meaning it only switches its position with the Ace of Swords, card 36, back and forth throughout the entire 90 steps. 25 and 52. The Three of Cups and Four of Pentacles. The 3 was already indicated in the Ace of Cups as the extension of the gift from the fount of all love. The 3 women joyously celebrate the gift given by the Ace, whether that be the welcoming of a new life, an engagement, or another happy affair. The Four of Pentacles represents selfishness, wanting to possess a person's love and even the person themselves. 26 and 62, the Four of Cups and the Ace of Wands. Continuing on the same theme of selfishly possessing love, here a figure is dissatisfied with arms crossed, refusing to accept the gift, Ace of Cups, being given to him, while focusing angrily on the 3 cups he is already dissatisfied with. The Ace of Wands is a new beginning and new opportunities that are available when one opens their heart. 27 and 72, the Five of Cups and the Page of Wands. Continuing on the same theme even further, here the figure is cloaked with a black cape, and he stands weeping over the spilled contents of 2 cups, while neglecting 3 upright cups, the gift. The Page of Wands is the centaur, Solanus, who is the wisest of the centaurs, and inspires others into action. The 2 indicate the figure is in the 5 is uninspired by the cups he neglects. 34 and 43, the Queen of Cups and the Eight of Swords. The Queen of Cups is representative of the astrological sign Scorpio, and she sits upon her throne enthralled with her gigantic cup, which she gazes into with fascination. The cup, a golden monstrosity reminiscent of the Ark of the Covenant, is adorned with 2 cherubs, like the Ark, who guard over its contents, the elixir of life and death. Scorpio is trapped by her own fascination, and the Eight of Swords reflects that self-imposed imprisonment that she's blindly subjected to. The Eight of Swords is one of the 3 cards that remains stationary throughout the dance of life. It is positioned under the right arm of the cross and never moves from this position. 35 and 53, King of Cups and 5 of Pentacles. The King of Cups is reflective of the astrological sign Cancer. He rules the moon and is positioned at the nadir of the sun, atop the oceans of the abyss. The Cancer King represents home and hearth. He is the worldly father who offers his children guidance. Family and fatherhood all fall under his domain. The contrasting 5 of Pentacles is the opposite of the home and hearth. Here, this card means homelessness and illness. The 2 wander aimlessly without guidance, the passing under a stained glass window of a church. They are not guided by a father and are alone on this planet. 36 and 63, the Ace of Swords and the 2 of Wands. The Ace of Swords is an evil card, showing a hand grasping a sword crowned with a wreath and a crown. 6 yods fall, indicating the abundant nature of the single sword. The 36th triangular number is 666, the mark of the beast. This card is reflective of the death and despair brought on by the adversary of everything holy. The 2 of Wands is the card that normally indicates a successful endeavor, as a man looks out onto the world holding a globe in one hand and a staff in the other. The 2 together, however, indicate an evil plan with an intention to harm. The Ace of Swords is one of the 4 cards that does the 2-step during the dance of life. It's constantly flipping its position back and forth with the 2 of Cups through every quadration. 37 and 73, the 2 of Swords and the Queen of Wands. Here we have another moon card, the crescent moon, which hovers above a blindfolded maiden whose back is facing the ocean. She balances two swords, indicating the resolution of a legal dispute. The Queen of Wands is a solar card, representing the sun, the astrological sign of Leo. The meaning here is a solar-sanctioned king juxtaposed against the legal decisions made under the auspices of a partial moon. Whatever is unknown and hidden in the two comes to light under the bright rays of the Queen. 45 and 54, the Ten of Swords and the Six of Pentacles. Here we have two cards deceptively portraying events. The first is the corpse of a man lying on the beach with 10 swords protruding from his body. The darkness is interrupted by the first rays of a newly rising sun, suggesting the successful navigation of an underworld. The card indicates something abundant and positive and joyous coming from the result of this man's death. The Six of Pentacles is similarly misrepresentative. It shows a richly dressed man giving generously to the poor, though he holds a pair of scales which show that the balance is clearly slanted toward him, indicating an ulterior motive to his charity. 46 and 64, the Page of Swords and the Three of Wands. Here we have the astrological sign of the twins Gemini. This twin is amicable, talkative, and easy to get along with. He's magnetic. He draws others to him, people that can prove to be quite useful. The Three of Wands is the card of trade and commerce. The two cards are made for each other, as one indicates that type of personality that is best at networking. 47 and 74, the Queen of Swords and the King of Wands. Both cards represent astrological signs of the zodiac. The Queen of Swords represents the water bearer, Aquarius, while the King of Wands represents the cardinal fire sign, Aries. The Queen faces due east and is the only female court card to face a cardinal direction. The King of Wands faces due west and is the only male court card to face a cardinal direction. The two are reflective of the pairing of palindromes 5 and 50, the Emperor and the Two of Pentacles. 56 and 65, the Eight of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. Here we see a man diligently working hard on his craft. He pays attention to detail and whistles while he works, indicating that he takes pleasure in his toil. The Four of Wands is the outcome of hard work, and it is a well-deserved celebration of a newly built home. Through hard work and patience, strong foundations are built. 57 and 75, the Nine of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. Here, the Nine shows a woman in a wealthy vineyard. She has a bird of paradise perched on her wrist. She lives a life of comfort and bliss, which she has inherited. The Knight of Pentacles, on the other hand, represents the astrological sign of Virgo, the virgin maiden, who reflects patience and hard work. The two contrast each other, as one is self-derived wealth and the other is inherited. 67 and 76, the Six of Wands and the Knight of Swords. The Six is a man returning home in triumph from a battle. It is a victory celebration. The Knight of Swords is like the Five of Swords. It indicates a hard-fought victory, but it also indicates an unfair advantage. The two contrast each other, as one is the celebrations after a battle, and the other is the battle itself, putting the horse before the cart, or the cart before the horse. These cards don't form palindromes and are singular where they stand. They are simply non-palindromic. The Key 8, the Chariot. This card is the Merkaba, the vehicle of the soul. It is also reflective of the ark that Noah built. The charioteer holds a crystal-tipped wand, like the magician, and a canopy of stars is above him. He has a crown of an 8-pointed star, reflective of the star key, which is key 18. He commands 2 distinct sphinxes, one black and the other white, in an analog to Plato's allegory of the chariot found in the Phaedrus, where the 2 represent the natures of man, with one pure and disciplined and the other wild and reckless. Key 9, Strength. This card wraps up the series of cards starting with the Fool and then followed by the Magician, who is wearing the same infinity symbol as a crown. Here the figure tames the wild beast, represented here by the astrological sign Leo, and the wreath garland that she wears wraps around her body and waist and is reflective of the Kundalini serpent that is raised in the form of an upright spinal column. The card indicates the power the righteous feel when faced with the predatory beasts of nature. Key 18, the Star. Probably the most enigmatic card of the deck, this figure is an angelic water bearer reflective of the astrological sign Aquarius. She pours the waters, the divine wrath of God, onto the earth, flooding it with the waters from above. Above her are 7 8-pointed stars, reflective of the planet Venus. The stars form the numeral 78, the number of cards in the tarot deck, and also indicating an affinity with the card 78, the Knight of Pentacles. The 19th, Key 19, the Moon. The Moon card is equally as enigmatic as the Star. It illustrates the last stage in the 5-card journey began with death, and the Ben pillars are now before us, and the rising moon illuminates the crayfish emerging from the pool. On either side are 2 canines. One is the wild wolf, and the other is a domesticated dog, reflecting the 2 natures of the moon. The moon contains all of the wisdom and knowledge of the universe in its passive hands. Key 28, the 6 of Cups, the Christmas card. This card is perfect along with Key 6, the Hierophant. It shows a young elf-like figure giving a cup with a blooming flower to a young child. The card is divine. It's generosity and gift-giving. Key 29, the 7 of Cups, Dreams card. The card shows an imagined, not real scene where a figure is presented with 7 cups, each filled with wonders to behold. One contains a dragon, another the head of someone beautiful and attractive. Another has riches in the form of jewels, silver, and gold, while still another has a sandcastle in it. Still another shows a serpent. One cup has an apparition of someone who has already passed on, and another has a wreathed crown of a champion. The card reflects things desired and dreamed about, things out of reach, and things that the person might believe that they want, but be careful for what you wish for. Key 38, the 3 of Swords. A heart is pierced by 3 swords. The card isn't subtle, and it reflects a broken heart, usually caused by the interference of a third party. It can also indicate a love triangle. Key 39, the 4 of Swords. This card depicts a figure lying down on a bed in what appears to be either asleep or in meditation. This is the only card with a figure who is fully reclined, and the only where the figure hands form the praying gesture, indicating that the figure is contemplating something. Either they are in deep meditation or in prayerful meditation, or they are completely asleep. The 3 of Swords above and offsets the 4th sword, indicating the numbers 13 and 31, the palindromic pair of the Hanged Man and the 9 of Cups. This card has an affinity with those 2 cards as a person who contemplates the underworld without having to die first. They do this in sleep, a form of living death. Key 48, the King of Swords. This card is representative of the astrological sign Libra, the Butterfly King. The Libra seeks harmony and balance and is famously indecisive. Key 49, the Ace of Pentacles, the beginning of any endeavor that makes financial good sense. The Ace is the beginning of something to make money. Key 58, the Ten of Pentacles. 10 pentacles adorn a city scene of finely dressed individuals. The card indicates material wealth and all that comes with it. Key 59, the Page of Pentacles. The page is representative of the astrological sign Virgo and the part of the Virgin Goddess of the grain. The card indicates hard work and effort. Key 68, the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is an exaggerated scene of a man supposedly larger than life, overcoming what appear to be overwhelming odds. The card is fantastical and overly exaggerated. Key 69, the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands show 8 flying wands, and it indicates movement from one place to another. A flight of wands means either to flee or leave a place, a trip, either permanently or just a relocation. Key 78, the Knight of Wands. The last card of the 78 is representative of the astrological sign Sagittarius and is the exit to the wheel of life, samsara. The exit point is at the nth degree of their sign, Sagittarius, as it ascends the northwest quadrant of the zodiac, where the veil is the thinnest, before it is lured back in by Capricorn.